Hello, our little spooks.
Hi, I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Lexi. Welcome to the Guarded by Demons podcast where we discuss all things horror.
So it's February. That means new month, new movies, new topics. But today's actually very special. Today is...
It's my birthday.
It's his birthday.
It's my fucking birthday.
Hell yeah.
I'm 23 and I want to throw up.
I mean, I'm 27. That's not even better.
I still want to throw up.
Me too, bitch. Me too.
It's okay. It's fine.
Different stages in our 20s. Amazing.
And yet our backs are probably in equal amount of pain.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. So firstly, before we get into anything, sorry we've missed a little bit. We were sick. We were both sick with different stuff.
Yeah, you got like a cold. I got Bell's palsy.
Yeah, you did. Fuck. One of these things is not like the other.
No. But if you don't know what Bell's palsy is basically when either half your face or your whole face just tense up and freeze. So for my case, it was my left side of my face. I could not like move it or anything for a couple of days. And it's just now starting to be okay.
Yeah, you're basically almost completely back to normal, except for maybe a little bit of
stuff
it's going on.
It's still really sore. I have to keep like massaging it, and I have to like make sure I use the left side of my face now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just gonna get stuck, and it sucks so fucking much.
It's okay. It's almost completely back to normal though.
But yeah, also Bell's palsy just comes like randomly. You can get it when you're just sick or just under a lot of stress. And for my case, it was under a lot of stress.
Yeah, the doctor even said even just a runny nose.
Yeah.
And you had a runny nose a couple days before that.
I did have a runny nose, but again, you don't think anything of it, and then it just happens.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's random. It's rare when it happens, but
it's fairly harmless.
Yeah.
Fairly harmless. But yeah, that out of the way, what are we watching today, Kimberly, for my birth?
Today is your birthday pick, and your birthday pick happened to be Tim Burton's and Mike Johnson's Corpse Bride.
Yeah, of course. I love this movie. This is not just, like, horror-wise, just one of my most favorite movies ever.
Just your favorite movie in general.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I think it had to be, like... I don't remember. It was definitely not too long after this came out. I was staying at Aunt Cindy's house, and I watched it 11 times in a row. I kept count, and I watched it 11 times in a row.
Amazing.
Worth it.
Very.
But yeah, this movie very much is one of my favorite movies. It definitely cued me in on more of the horror side of things, even though it's not particularly scary. It's got scary imagery mostly, and it also just gave me a love for like the look of how fabric is when it's blowing in the wind, like in Ghost of Tsushima or stuff like that. That's where this comes from. That's what Emily's dress is what makes me love the look of fabric in the wind. It's just pretty.
I feel that.
It's very pretty. Also, the movie is really sweet.
The movie is really sweet. It still makes me cry to this day.
Yeah, I actually watched it years later when I finally grew up a little bit, and this was like a few years ago now. And watching it again, it made me really realize how sad this movie is, and I cried at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh my god, this movie is so sad.
Yeah, so like we said, this movie came out in 2005?
Yeah, I was 5.
You were 5?
I was 5 when it came out.
I think it was like 9.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I was like 9 when this came out.
So good.
It's very, very good.
Underrated compared to Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, but to be fair, Nightmare Before Christmas is by Disney.
That's true. This is Warner Brothers.
Yeah, this is Warner Brothers. So there's a significant difference with marketing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're both Tim Burton. But I do have fun facts about how Tim Burton feels about this movie and The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, really?
My fun facts. So I'll get to that later. But this movie I know he kind of like learned from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was also animated with Leica Studios, which
Yes.
also did The Nightmare Before Christmas, and Coraline, which everybody gets mixed up with Tim Burton. Coraline is not Tim Burton. It's Henry Selick, which we'll probably get into that one day, too.
Yep.
If you would want to see that, possibly.
It fits with the horror genre with kids horror.
It does. It's very fun. It's a great movie. Terrified me when I was a kid.
Also, I think the reason why people consider not just like it to be like a Tim Burton film, like Coraline, it's because Henry Selick did The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, Henry Selick did do he did the majority of Nightmare Before Christmas. It just has Tim Burton's name on it.
Yeah.
But still though,
so
all really good.
They're all very good movies.
This is my favorite out of all of them.
I know.
Coraline is a close second though. Like if we're talking Tim Burton, it's probably this. God, probably Beetlejuice. And I think Nightmare Before Christmas is probably number 4, but number 3 would probably be Beetlejuice. Because Beetlejuice is just fun.
For me, it's Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and then Corpse Bride.
And then number 5, I think, would probably have to be the Tim Burton version of Alice in Wonderland. Because that's chaotic fun, and it's dark, and I
didn't like it.
Yeah, I know you didn't like it. It makes me sad. I loved it, though.
I didn't like it. I'm upset that I didn't like it, because, like, I really love Alice in Wonderland. And when I saw it, I was, like, so disappointed.
That makes me so sad.
I was so disappointed.
That makes me sad. How long has it been since you've seen it?
Oh, I think it's been, like, I want to say more than 10 years already.
I wonder if you would watch it again, would your feelings change about it?
I don't know. My feelings change a lot throughout the fucking process of watching movies again.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll revisit if you wanna. If you're down. If not, that's totally okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah.
Shall we get into the movie? I've got the captions on and everything. The TV is muted.
I can't even see anything, so there was no point in putting captions.
Ah. Well, shit, it's fine.
Well, for you, I guess. But, like,
I've seen this movie so many times,
shit.
I don't even need the fucking captions, honestly. But, it opens up, and we see our lead, Victor. He's at his desk, and he is drawing a butterfly that he has on display. It's alive, I promise. No butterflies were harmed in the making of this film. Also, I have to mention, Christopher Lee is in this, and when I, like, grew up and realized that, I lost my mind. Christopher Lee is a fucking legend, and I love him very much. But after he gets done drawing the butterfly, he lets it out of its glass case. And we notice very quickly that this particular world is very gray and dull, and the butterfly itself is fairly colorful compared to everything else. Like, it looks cold, for lack of a better term. It looks like you need a jacket.
Well, that's exactly it. Basically, with the representation of, like, the land of the dead and the living, it makes it seem like living is the more boring part of life, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and Danny Elfman did the music and songs for this movie, too. Our Bone Daddy, Jack Skellington. Well, at least the singing voice, anyway.
Also does another skeleton in this movie.
Yeah, Bone Jangles is his name, which I think is really funny. It's basically Jack Skellington, like, after he's retired from being Pumpkin King.
Yeah.
And opens up a club. And we see a mysterious stranger with a big chin and a stupid haircut. But we're starting this off. And, by the way, this movie's a musical. If you guys like musicals, here you go. Merry Christmas.
There are so many good, like, horror musicals.
Yes. But we find out that Victor here is going to be married off to a girl named Victoria because her parents are basically penniless, and if they don't get married, they're going to be homeless, essentially.
Yeah. That's the gist.
Yes. And the parents are all singing about how everything has to go according to plan, and his parents are very excited about possibly becoming more than just fish merchants, especially his mom. She's very excited about it. Also, her dress gets caught in the carriage trying to get in, which is funny. It's my dress that's caught. It's not me, it's my dress. And of course we go over to literally across the street, which I think is funny, and I didn't notice until I got older, to where Victoria's parents live. And they are dreading the wedding because literally just because they're broke.
Yeah.
Also, the height difference is funny.
It's very funny.
He's
honestly.
this short, squat man, and she's tall and lanky, and her hair kind of looks like a ball sack. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, literally, their safe is nothing but fucking dusty cobwebs and shit.
It's gross.
It is gross.
But that's just because I don't like bugs.
But they can, yeah, they can afford to have staff though, you know.
Yeah. Well, who knows? They could afford to, like, you know, pay them.
Yeah, I guess. Unless they're just like, nah, it would make sense if they were family. That'd be kind of fucked up. Yeah. They also clearly just don't like their daughter for whatever. They're not abusive or anything. They just, like, aren't great.
I wouldn't even say, like, they neglect her either.
No. They just dislike her.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Which is, like, weird.
It is weird. The dynamic with her parents and her is kind of strange. In my opinion. And we go to Victoria, though. She's upstairs and she's getting her corset on. Which I know fucking hurts.
Yeah.
I can hear you speak without gasping. Like,
corsets hurt, man.
They're not supposed to.
They fucking hurt.
They do hurt.
They hurt my chest, man.
It's because we got the big titties, that's why.
Yeah.
Victor is also kind of self-conscious because he's never met Victoria. This is an arranged marriage, obviously. And he's like, shouldn't Victoria be marrying a lord or something? And not just the son of a fish merchant. And make you their carriage driver fucking coughing up a lung over here. He is struggling. Somebody help this man. Don't smoke, kids. Do not smoke.
Yeah, but it's both, like, Victor and Victoria that are both worried about this whole entire thing.
Yeah. Victoria is worried about the fact that what if Victor doesn't like me?
Yeah.
Because, as we learn, she has always wanted to get married, and she's always wanted to get married to somebody she was deeply in love with. And she's worried about, because it's an arranged marriage, that
they probably won't like each other.
They won't like each other. Which their parents point out that they don't like each other, so I'm like, bruh, you're not helping.
I don't think they were supposed to be helping.
No. This house is very pretty, though. Admittedly, very pretty.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Empty, though. Super empty.
I mean, I understand why, though.
Yeah.
But, like...
Can't afford to throw parties here, dude.
It's pretty, though.
It's very pretty. Also needs fucking color. Black and white is fine, but we need a little bit of color. Just a little bit.
There's color, but it's muted color.
Very muted color. But everybody introduces each other, except for, you know, fucking... Victoria's still upstairs, and Victor is just standing behind. And we do find out that Victor is a very good piano player. One of my friends, Ty, actually learned this piece for me. Because they watched this here for the first time for Halloween one year. And they were like, I want to learn the piano solo. I was like, ha, bet. So I sent them the fucking sheet music.
Nice.
And they learned it. They're a very good piano player. Very pretty. They can also play The Merry-Go-Round of Life from Howl's Moving Castle.
Ooh.
Which is a very hard piece, by the way. But they do a very, very good job. They're very talented. They can also draw very well, too. I'm just gushing about one of my friends. I'm so sorry. But Victor is playing piano, and Victoria can hear it from her, because it's a grand piano. It's very, very loud.
Also, it's like an empty space, so that's gonna
I
echo
was just about to say, it's gonna be
good.
real echoey. There's an empty space, but she's upstairs, and it draws her attention. She comes downstairs and actually, like, startles him, because he didn't fucking hear her at all. And we learn that her mom won't let her, around the piano because music is improper for a young lady. Too passionate, she says. And I'm like, what? Hello? This is literally the time of music. What do you mean? Like, classical music. Make it make sense. Hello? The fuck? Which also begs the question, why do you have a piano in your house in the first place? Other than to throw parties with. Because then it's just there collecting dust.
Well, that's probably just it.
Yeah. That's not fair. But yeah, Victoria is very sweet. She has a very soft voice. And Victor is very clearly very nervous around her, which is really fucking cute. They're supposed to, because I mean, they're supposed to be getting married the next day as we're watching this.
Yeah. Which, like, understandable.
Yeah, that's a fast fucking wedding, dude.
I mean, I think it has to be fast.
Yeah, otherwise they're just gonna...
Yeah, considering that, like, situation.
The financial situation, yeah. They're cute together, though. But they're interrupted by her fucking mom! It's improper for them to be alone together, don't you know?
Bitch, they're gonna get married.
They're gonna be sharing a bed. What the fuck are you talking about? Assuming. But we go to wedding rehearsal, it cuts to 3 hours later. To Pastor Goswell's, who is Christopher Lee, rest his soul. And Victor keeps stumbling over the vows and stuff. And again, he's very clearly very nervous around her, which I think is really fucking cute.
It's very understandable.
They're cute, bro. The fuck. It probably doesn't help to have both sets of parents fucking scrutinize every single fucking move you make.
Yeah, that's not gonna help anything.
And the candle will not fucking light, because part of the vows are, like, having to have a lit candle, and the candle is not fucking lighting. And I'm like, that's not even his fucking fault at that point. But then it gets lit, accidentally blows it out. My dude is nervous.
He's nervous.
Everyone
else is just, like...
Get on with it. Like, they're getting married right fucking now.
Mm-hmm.
It would be this is what the rehearsal is for, and this is why weddings shouldn't be as last minute as this.
Exactly.
But anyway, the doorbell rings, and Emil, their butler, goes enter the door, and big chin, dumbass haircut man over here comes in. Apparently I'm a day late for the ceremonies. And we learn his name is Barkis Bittern. He's a lord. The lord of where? We don't know.
Who the fuck knows and who the fuck cares? Because God knows I don't.
I don't either.
I always feel bad when he gets, like, intimidated by everyone.
I know. Also, I want to see here. He says 3 steps. Victor's took 2.5 steps before bumping into that fucking table. I'm mad at that. That's not even his fault. He wasn't standing in the right spot. I'm mad. Everybody gets mad at Victor for fucking up, but I'm like, bro, he's nervous. He's me. Also, he drops the ring, which is not good. It's technically bad luck.
Yeah.
And also just casually reaches under Victoria's mom's skirts to pick it back up, which this is the 1800s. You don't want to fucking do that.
Well, to be fair, he didn't realize.
It's fine. Oh, man. But her skirts catch on fire, and...
It's a whole thing of trying to get it out. Everyone's panicking.
Yeah, and Barkis puts it out with wine, which I've heard people be like, why doesn't it just go up in flames? Guys, it has to have enough alcohol content to be able to do that.
Yeah.
It's probably just practice wine, honestly. But even then, wine's not going to be that flammable, because it's just fermented fruit. Depending, though. Also, they probably can't afford the fancy flammable stuff anyway.
Well, right now, they probably can't.
No, not right now. But yeah, Victor gets kicked out until he learns his vows. He fucking runs away. Which, I don't blame him there.
I would gladly leave.
Same. I'd be so embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for this man. This poor dude. But yeah, fun fact, I would skip that entire part and go to this part right here. Because this is where the next scene would start. And I would skip the entire beginning and start right here. Because this is where the fun stuff starts. For me, personally.
Amazing.
When I was younger. But now I can appreciate the beginning of the movie. Now that I'm older. So Victor is, like, lamenting about how Victoria probably thinks he's a fool. The fucking town crier is a snitch, by the way. Talking about how he's fucked up. And how her parents are so mad because he kept fucking up. And, like, bruh, keep a secret. So Victor goes off into the woods to practice his vows. There's a lewd joke about cupping breasts, but he doesn't say the breasts part. You can kind of get where it's going when he makes the motion. And it's funny. Right there. Sir, that's for the honeymoon. But he comes to a mysterious tree, which I think there was a fun fact about this tree. I think it was used in Sleepy Hollow, if I remember correctly. But he practices vows once more. He gets them all right. And then puts the fucking wedding ring on what appears to be a fucking hand-shaped branch.
Because he was so confident in himself.
Yeah. And it fucking comes to life and grabs him, and he pulls it off. And it's clearly a skeleton. And we meet this beautiful bitch. Her name is Emily, and I love her, and I would die for her. I could definitely see where this part would freak people out. Or kids out, rather. But she says I do, and he fucking runs away. And she is going after him. Like, he's tripping over tombstones and shit because he's near a cemetery. Excuse me. Runs into a tree twice because he's freaking out so bad. And makes it back to the bridge in town. Also noted that he's tore his suit a little bit. And we get a pretty good jump scare. A pretty solid jump scare. When he's on the bridge of her just being right there behind him. And she's, you may now kiss the bride. She kisses him, but they cut out before we could see that. And he fucking passes the fuck out. And wakes up in the underworld, which is way more colorful and way more fun than the world of the living. Look at these lads. The skelly boys. And Victor is very clearly just freaked out. And everyone is giving a toast to the newlyweds. And he's confused. And she's like, oh no, you said your vows so perfectly when we were in the woods. And she's got the ring on her finger. And I'm like, uh-oh. He's trying to wake himself up, banging his head on the fucking counter. Which I think is funny. We've even got a waiter. He's just ahead, being carried by some cockroaches.
I don't know why, but I always thought they were like spiders at first.
Oh really? Is it the legs?
I think it was the legs. It wasn't until like later on when I realized like, oh, they're not spiders.
They're a cockroach.
Yeah.
Which makes a little bit more sense, honestly. Spiders would have been just as creepy, but cockroaches make a little bit more sense. Also, she has a maggot behind her eye in her head, which pops her eyeball out every now and again. Which is fine.
She has good reflexes.
She does. She catches her eye often.
Yes.
So now we get a little musical number from Mr. Bonejangles, Danny Elfman himself. It's retired Jack Skellington. And it tells the story of who Emily is. And we find out that she had fallen in love with a man who came into her town. And she was also just known for her beauty. She was very beautiful. And her parents didn't approve of him, but they wanted to get married anyway. He told her to bring jewels and money, and they'll elope in the woods and run away together. But he turned out to be a not-so-good person and fucking killed her and took all of her money and left her there to die. And as she was dying, she vowed to be set free whenever her true love comes to find her. Somebody help this woman. Her story is very sad. She just wanted... Because she showed up all dressed up, obviously, in this beautiful wedding gown. It was her mother's wedding gown, as we learn. And she didn't get to get married. And I feel so bad for her. Because she got all pretty for this jackass. A fucking Victor gets spooked again and fucking clambers away. we go back to the world of the living, where everyone is wondering where the fuck Victor's at. Like, his parents, her parents, she's wondering where he's at, and his parents are like, oh, he won't be out there for very long. He's really scared of the dark. Which I think is really funny.
I think it's fucking hilarious.
Poor guy. But then fucking Barkus comes in again and says he has terrible news and brings the fucking town crier in a very funny bit where he actually yells and rings his bell to give the news again and makes the fucking tea that everyone's holding rattle because they're all on saucers and everything. Talking about how Victor was seen in the arms of a mystery woman and they slipped off into the woods. I also think it's funny that the town crier is kind of in the shape of a bell himself. There you go.
I think that's the point.
Yeah, I like it. It's funny. But, the parents Victoria's parents give Victor's parents until dawn to find him. Otherwise, they're gonna find somebody else to marry Victoria. Which is not fucking good. Yeah. And the mom is always worried about fucking the scandal of everything. I'm like, bruh.
Well, that's just how moms are.
Yeah, but she's worried about it for the wrong reasons. So we're back in the world of the dead. So pretty and colorful. I love it. And Emily is looking for Victor. He's fucking avoiding her like the plague. Which, I mean, I'd be scared too, but this is a little mean, bro. I like this horse skeleton, by the way. He's neat. Around. There's also a lot of fucking visual and just verbal puns in this movie that I really appreciate. Like, the secondhand shop is just 2 barrels full of hands. And I think that's really funny. Even the Black Widow saying, oh, you're married? I'm a widow. And I'm like, uh-huh. You are. I wonder why. But yada, we get this chase. See a couple of characters until we end up on this vantage point where he just climbs a wall, but he could have used stairs because he didn't look hard enough for stairs and accidentally grabs Emily's leggy.
He was in a panic.
He was in a panic, and I think it's funny. But she introduces herself because he doesn't know her name. Again, her name is Emily. The corpse bride's name is Emily. And she gives him a present, a wedding present. And it's his childhood dog. His name is Scraps, and he's a good boy, and I would die for him.
The baby. I love him.
I love him too. And they get to talking a little bit. And he mentions that his mom would have never approved of Scraps jumping up on them the way he does, which is really cute. Not the mom part, but the dog part. And Emily asks him if he thinks his mom would have approved of her. And he's like, oh, you're lucky you'll never have to meet her. But he immediately comes up with a plan with, like, actually, you should. We should go meet both of my parents right now and introduce you because we're married. And it's not that. It is, unfortunately, not that. It's a very mean thing that he's fucking doing right here. I have to say, I will say it right here, right now. Victor is not a bad person. It's just he's in a bad way right now. But she can talk to dogs, apparently, because Scraps gives her the idea to go see Elder Goodnicht, which is an old skeleton. I called him the Dumbledore of skeletons because of the fucking half-moon glasses he's got. But he's able to, conjure up. He just squeezes a fucking egg out of a fucking raven and says, here, you can use this to go to the overworld, and whenever you want to come back, just say hopscotch and you'll come back. And then we get this really pretty scene when they go back to the overworld. I think it's, back in front of her tree. And she is entranced by the moonlight because she hasn't seen it in such a long time. And we get this really nice scene of her just what I can only describe as somebody who's so happy with the position they're in right now and just so in love and just so carefree. And I'm like, I love her. I also pointed out to you that Victor didn't have any, Victor had footprints, but she didn't. Also, she tripped, and you miss her trip.
I like when she trips. It's funny.
It's only funny because she doesn't get hurt, and she loses a leg.
Exactly.
She just snaps it back on as a skeleton. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that she didn't have any footprints. And I talked to you about this. I was like, what if she's more ghost-like in the overworld, and she can only touch Victor because she's so emotionally connected to him now? Which, I mean...
Well, she is connected to him.
Yeah. She's wearing his ring.
Exactly.
Which, obviously, I might be personally looking too far into it, but after you've watched this movie X amount of times, you kind of start, like, thinking of shit of, like, I wonder why that is, but that's my theory. I think she's just, like, more ethereal in the world of the living than we think. Because she doesn't leave any footprints in the snow, but he does, which I think is really interesting to me. But he stops her because she's dancing and she's being sweet, and he sits her down, he's like, I'm gonna go prepare my parents for the big news, runs into town, and he tells her to stay here, he'll be right back. And more often than not, people have pointed out that, oh my god, he left her here in the same place as before. And I'm like, stop, don't do that, that's mean. But,
yeah, but they're right.
They are right, and I feel bad. But he goes to Victoria's house, and he overhears his parents talk about how they're probably gonna fucking kill him the next time they see him. And he sneaks up to her room, or starts to. But we come back to Emily, and the maggot is automatically just like, hey, I don't trust this dude. Maybe you should follow him and see what he's up to, because he's taking a while to get back. But Victor climbs up to Victoria's room, because her room has a balcony, which I think is really nice and fancy. And she was worried about him, because he's been gone for fucking ever, and he's cold as shit. Because he's been out in the cold for a long time. She's making sure he's alright. And he confesses that morning he was terrified of getting married, but after meeting her, he was excited to get married to her, and that he thought that their wedding couldn't come soon enough, which I thought was really fucking sweet.
They're adorable, man.
They are adorable. This is why I'm like, polyamory would fucking win here, dude. But they're getting, she's like,
would it really?
Would it? If they're all dead, it would.
Yeah, that's the only way I could ever see that happening.
Yeah. But, she confesses, Victor and Victoria. Victoria confesses that she feels the same way. They get ready to kiss, and Emily fucking barges in. She's like, who dis? Pretty much. And
she rightfully gets mad.
Yeah, because firstly, she's like, I'm his wife. And Victor takes her hand and fucking shakes it because it's skeletal and makes a rattling noise. He's like, she's dead, look. She gets mad, says hopscotch, and they go back to the underworld, and she's really mad. And very sad. And Victor's like, you don't understand, you are the other woman. She's like, no, you're married to me. She's the other woman. Which I'm like, true.
It's true. She is not wrong.
She is not wrong. This is also another visual joke that I, like, figured out when I grew up. When she's crying, her eyeball falls. She's crying her eyes out, basically.
Yeah.
Which I was like, I see you, movie. And he's like, this can't work, because you're dead. And it comes to a point where he says this, and she's like, you should have thought about that before you asked me to marry you. And he's like, why can't you understand? I would never marry you. And I'm like, dude, there's a better way to put that.
You could have worded that way better.
And she's really fucking sad. I'm just like, bro.
Like, no, man, that's on you.
That's mean, man.
That's on you. You have to fix that.
He feels bad, though. You can fucking tell he instantly feels bad for saying that shit.
Well, sucks for him, because he has to fix it.
He does have to fix it. It's your fault, guy. I'm sorry. This girl's been through a lot, and you know this.
I'm like, sir, did you not hear that musical number?
She was murdered on her wedding night. What do you mean?
Did you not pay attention to the story?
I think he was too busy being scared. But yeah, she's picking at the flowers in her bouquet, talking about the sayings of it. She stops at baby's breath, and I just know that means she wanted kids one day. And I'm like, this shit hurts, man. Also, I really like the spider and the maggot in this movie. I think they're kind of underrated, TBH.
Same.
I like them a lot. But she's clearly self-conscious because she's dead. And the fucking widow is like, oh, those girls are Tenpenny, and you've got so much more. You've got a wonderful personality, which, by today's standards, is not a great thing to say.
No.
But that's not how the spider means it. We know what she means. She's not being mean about it. Clearly, she's not being mean about it.
Does it come off a little mean? Yeah.
Unintentionally mean.
It's unintentional.
Because that's just how we've, like, learn to understand that statement is like, oh, that doesn't sound fucking good.
Yeah, pretty much. But like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because that's not how she means it.
Yeah. And her and the maggot are both like, oh, it's, you don't compare, she doesn't compare to you because she doesn't play piano or dance or sing. And this was another moment where I was like, well, Victoria's parents wouldn't let her dance, sing, or play piano. Mm-hmm. So that's not even her fault either. Like, there's a lot, because like, I think this movie does a great job of telling you, hey, you can root for one girl over the other, but you basically probably shouldn't, because they both have their reasonings of wanting to get married, whether it be for one reason. They have the same reasons to want to get married, because they both wanted to get married.
But it just was brought up different.
Yes, they were brought up different. And also, one fucking died on her wedding night.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emily is just basically heartbroken this entire time, and I feel so bad for her. No, just no dog. Look at him. He a good boy. He bring over a bouquet. We go back to Victoria's parents' house, and she's talking about how Victor has a corpse bride, and he was here in her room, and her mom is more worried about the fact that Victor was in her room and not the fucking corpse.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, do you not... Hello? Because she thinks her daughter is going fucking crazy, and I'm like, my dude. I also think it's a very pointed thing that they have just the women in Victoria's room right there, is, like, Hildegard, which I guess is their maid, one of their maids, and Victoria's mom. Because, you know, if men cannot be in there. even though he was in there earlier, but okay. I guess standing in the doorway doesn't really count.
No.
Okay, you got me. But yeah, Victoria takes this quilt that she was actually sewing earlier and climbs down from her balcony with it and goes to talk to the pastor from earlier to see if she was like, can the living marry the dead? And just wants answers and stuff about just this whole situation in general. And he fucking takes her back to her fucking parents without even fucking answering anything, which I think is fucking rude.
Which, I mean, I don't blame him considering the circumstances.
Yeah. Still sucks, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, they literally have Emile and Hildegard take her up to her room when she gets back home and literally lock her in, like, bar her doors and windows to lock her in. And fucking Barkus, of course, the man with the plan, comes out here and is like, if I was married to a woman like your daughter, you bathe her in riches and money and stuff. And he's like, Victoria's mom is like, your wife is very fortunate. And he's like, oh, I was betrothed, but tragedy snatched her away many years ago. And I'm like, mm-hmm. So the parents are like, okay, well, looks like Victoria's marrying Barkus now. Which I'm like, okay.
Oh, Victoria just completely shuts down after that.
Oh, yeah, she basically shuts down until she sees Victor again later.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least until the dead come back later.
Well, she's still completely shut down even then.
Yeah. After the initial chaos ensues.
Then she's like, I'm leaving, bye.
Okay, bye. Because Barkus doesn't realize that she's getting married because they're broke.
Yeah.
He just thinks that they're getting married to get married, you know?
That's his dumbass plan, though.
Yep.
That's what he gets.
Yep. Dumb of ass. I'm sorry. Dumb of ass.
But I mean, yeah, that's what he gets for not, like, properly finding out information.
Yeah, that's what you get for being money hungry, guy. The fuck did you expect? And he also just, like, completely reveals that he's gonna kill her the night they get married.
Yeah, pretty much.
We cut to we cut to Victor's parents, and they're off in the carriage looking for Victor. And this town crier doesn't fucking sleep. I swear to God, he doesn't.
I never thought, like, town criers take breaks, like, at all.
You'd think there'd be more than one.
Right?
One for the day and one for the night. But their carriage driver, Mayhew, is fucking coughing up a lung, and he actually has I'm assuming a heart attack.
I think it is a heart attack.
And fucking dies. Gets run over by the carriage. So we've got a fucking kill count of 1.
That's the saddest shit right there, though.
Poor guy. It's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny, but it's pretty sad.
Yeah, so now they're just riding off into the night.
I think it's funny, honestly.
Yeah. So we cut back into the underworld, and Victor is gonna try to make up with Emily. And this is the very well-known scene that everybody knows this movie about, like, the piano duet scene. It's very iconic. It's very sweet. They do this little ditty, and they basically make up. He obviously feels bad. He does apologize to her. Credit where credit is due. He does apologize to her. And they play piano together. And at the end of it all, she's all smiley again, because she's clearly mad at him here this entire time. But they make up. And then Mayhew arrives in the world of the dead. Which, woohoo! Goddamn, poor guy. He's fine. He's fine. It's fine.
It's okay.
It's okay, it's fine. But, drinks are being served. Clearly, when a new arrival shows up, there's a big celebration every time.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, shoot, if I'm graded into the fucking world of the dead like this, I'm not gonna complain. It's a big party.
Hey, I mean, either. I'm like, bitch, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out like that.
There we go. Also, he's being flirted with by Miss Plum.
I think it's funny.
She was flirting with Victor early. She was like, does he have a dead brother? I'm like, huh? But yeah, Mayhew is here, and he tells Victor that Victoria is actually getting married this evening because a lord came into town. And Victor is also not happy. He's very sad, too. I'm like, damn, bro. This is a shitty day.
It sucks, though, but, like, he can't really do much of anything.
It's a lose-lose situation all around.
Yeah.
But it's okay. So we cut back to Victoria. She's getting ready for her wedding, which her gown is very pretty. I like it a lot. It's very much... It's very of the time. Victoria's dress is, like, neck high. She's got long sleeves and the puffy shoulders. Emily's dress is very... I don't want to say provocative, but it's provocative compared to everything else. But she's so pretty, I can't stay mad at it. And apparently that dress is of the time, just as of a time before this. Like, some time before this.
Well, I mean, it's also a dress that's, like, a decaying one, so I don't think that actually helps it either.
That is true. But yeah, we cut to Bargus and Victoria getting married. He has no family on his side.
No.
The only one sitting on his side is Hildegard, which I don't know why, but okay. I guess maybe the maids aren't allowed to sit on the same side, which is dumb, but whatever. We cut back to the underworld again. We go back and forth a lot, but that's okay. Victor is very sad about Victoria getting married. Emily is talking to Miss Plum about Victor's behavior, why he's acting like that. And Elder Goodnick comes in and says there's a complication with your marriage. The the vows are binding for only until death do you part. Death has already parted you. Literally, the only way they could stay together is if he says his vows again in the world of the living, dies there, will they be able to stay together? Which she is not happy about. She doesn't want him to have to die to have to stay with her.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, she's like, I would never ask him to do that. She's very sweet.
But he accepted, though.
He does accept it. He comes in, he says, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And even the elder is like, once you do this, you'll never be able to return to the world of the living.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay.
He's like, that's fine with me.
That's fine with me. You know what would be really awkward? Is if this actually ended that way, and Victoria comes down immediately after.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have that cool ending scene, though.
That's true. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Like, you're right, I can see it. I can see it, but, like, cool ending scene.
Cool ending scene.
Like, you wouldn't get that.
Yeah. But yeah.
But I do like that, though.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'll do it.
We'll do it. But now he is gathering everybody around and being like, we have to prepare. We're going to have a wedding party upstairs. And everybody's really excited. And this scene, I think, is probably one of my favorites out of the entire movie. Because not only is it, like, just super exciting to watch, it's really, like, you can really tell everybody here in the underworld really cares about Emily and what she's gone through. I'm just like, oh. But, like, a little group of Black Widows come in and fix up Victor's suit because it got fucking tore up earlier that day. Because this is all happening within a day, folks. It's a long day.
Ooh, a night,
and
actually.
Night. Yeah, and night. My man's is probably so tired right now. But the spiders all fix up his suit and his pants and everything. It looks nice.
Actually, no, it takes place in 2 days.
Yeah.
Because it happened throughout the night, and then Victoria got married. That's the next day.
Yeah.
In a span of 2 fucking days.
God, that's a lot to happen in 2 days, bro.
Yeah.
Emotional roller coaster after emotional roller coaster. And there's these 3 Miss Plum, and I don't know the other 2's names, but they're all making the wedding cake. And I have to say, I love their wedding cake. I love Victor and Emily's wedding cake. It's so neat looking.
The wedding cake always reminded me of flan because it's jiggly.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's jiggly like flan. Also, it makes a jiggly sound, too.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I want to eat that.
It always reminded me of, like, Jello or flan. And I'm just like, damn, I want some.
I want to take a big old bite of it. You know the fucking skulls and bones on it probably are real here, but would be made of, like, fondant or something.
Yeah.
But Emily comes
or
down.
Chocolate. Like
or chocolate. Yeah, white molded chocolate. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, chocolate.
Yeah. Emily is also getting ready to leave. I think they kind of patched up the front of her dress a little bit, so it's not as far up as it would be, but maybe I'm wrong. But they bring her veil down for her, and the ladies, her little bridal party replaces the flowers or puts a few extra flowers that she was ripping out earlier to make it look a little better. Bless her. And Victor does get a little bit of a tiny trim.
It's cute.
It's cute. God, I love this cake. I love it. They also made those little figures really fast. I'm very impressed. I want this cake. I also love that this dude goes to pack a saxophone and just puts the upper torso of an entire skeleton in there, too. There's a lot of visual comedy in this movie. But they're on the way to the land of the living to celebrate. And we cut back to the fucking reception, quote unquote, for Barkus and Victoria. Have this little pitiful wedding cake that I could eat in one sitting.
It's like a toy cake.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like a toy cake.
Yeah, and they're all eating, like, little, I guess, squab or something? The little itty-bitty birds. And I pointed this out to you, well, before we get to it. Fucking Barkus talks about, he strokes his own ego, about how he's elegant and cultured and radiant. And I'm just like, dude, why are you talking about yourself like that? Stop.
Why are you being weird?
Why are you being weird, man? Also, she's like 19, 20 years old. He's gotta be like 45.
Yeah, but that wasn't gonna stop him anyway.
Not in those days, no.
Hell no, not in those days. In those days, they did not care.
No. Also, we get to the point I was just talking about, where they had the little birds in front of them. Now the parents have soup in front of them instead of the birds, which I think is just a little continuity error, which I just think is kind of funny. Because the Land of the Dead is here, and an eyeball fell in Victoria's dad's soup. Also, Victoria is just, like, very calm. Also, I see Victoria's mom's ankles. Ankles! You slut! No. This scene is very fun. I like it a lot. Also, it's wholesome towards the end of it.
It's very wholesome towards the end.
It's wholesome because we find out that all these people are just, like, dead relatives of loved ones, including, like, a husband and wife and, like, a little boy who right here, it's his grandfather. It's just, and you pointed out that you really liked the lighting change when it all calmed down.
Yeah.
Because it's immediate.
Look, I'm a sucker for lighting changes.
I know you are.
It's visually pleasing.
It's very nice to look at.
It is. It's very nice to look at. I fucking love it every time.
But yeah, we can fucking Gertrude and Alfred, these fucking two, I love them. They're so cute.
They're adorable, man. I fucking love them.
Oh, man.
The dogs!
And the two dogs, yeah, sniffing each other's butts, because of course. Victoria is also just still not having it.
She was just sitting there the whole
She's
time.
done. She's like, I don't fucking care. Yeah, fucking Barkus is like, we gotta take whatever money we can and get out of here. And she's like, we don't have money, dude. We're broke. I'm married so they can keep, I'm married to you so they can keep from going to the poorhouse, man. But yeah, he thought he'd have a right to her dowry, but she doesn't have one. There's no money. Stupid.
What a dumbass.
You gotta plan accordingly, stupid.
He sucks for you, dude.
So she fucking leaves and sees everybody. And we get Gertrude and Alfred's a skeleton, so he's like smoking a pipe and two hearts come out of his eyes. I think it's fucking cute.
It's literal hard eyes. It's cute as hell.
There's the cake again. What do you think they did with the cake after everything?
Ate it?
Yeah. We'll get to it when we get to it. I'll talk about it when we get to it. But they get to the church, and fucking Pastor Goswell's is trying to keep everybody away. And one of the dead guys is like, keep it down, we're in a church.
The fact that he immediately stopped trying to, like, get them in there.
Just in shock.
He was just like, okay, I'm not gonna do shit no more.
I also love that Emily has little flower kids as well. Somebody help her. Oh, I love her so much. I also pointed out to you that she always looks like she's super ethereal. Like, she's glowing. Always, it looks like. I've never noticed that in that frame right where she's getting ready to step in next to him. He held his hand out for her. Stop.
It's the cutest shit ever, man.
My heart. But Victoria comes in and she sees them about to exchange gifts, vows.
Vows, dude, vows. It's a wedding.
You can exchange gifts at a wedding.
You can, but not at that point.
The rings are a gift. Am I wrong? But
the rings are a promise.
There you go, you got me. You fucking got me, bitch. You got me. But they're getting ready to have him drink the poison that will fucking kill him. And Emily sees Victoria behind Victor. And she immediately feels really bad.
She's like, no.
She keeps him.
Stop it.
She keeps him from drinking the poison.
Yeah.
And she admits, she's like, years ago I was a bride and my dreams were taken from me, but now I've stolen them from somebody else. And she feels really bad. She says, I love you, Victor, but you're not mine. And I'm like, ugh, gross. This poor girl.
That shit hurt, man.
That shit hurt.
That shit hurt.
That shit hurted. Oh,
it's so sad. This shit makes me cry.
I feel bad for her. I'm just like, please.
Yeah, but it's like you can't really do much of anything anyway.
Yeah. And she just brings Victoria up. And then fucking Big Chin McGee over here fucking Barkus comes in and crashes the wedding because of course he fucking does. He's that guy. We all hate this guy. He probably would wear white if he was a woman to a wedding.
Oh, I can definitely see that.
Fucking asshole.
What a bitch.
And we discovered, this is kind of obvious, that he's the one who killed Emily because she recognizes him. And he's like, I left you. And she's like, for dead. And literally Alfred's jaw hits the floor. Because it falls off.
Everyone wants to fucking beat him up.
Mm-hmm. Wait, did you see that one fucking dude? Hold on, let me back up a little bit. There's a live guy that fucking stands up. Right there. He does that with his fists! Oh my god!
That dude could have taken him down.
Mm-hmm.
That dude could have taken him down.
Mm-hmm. But he yoinks a sword from one of the dead peeps. Barkus does. Scraps bites his ankle like a good boy. And Mrs. Plum throws Victor a fucking fork by accident. But you want to know what? Kudos, though, because he's still fucking winning this fight with a fork.
Yeah.
He also stabs him in the ass with the fork, which I think is funny. But it comes to a point where the fork is knocked out of Victor's hand, and he goes to stab Victor, but Emily steps in front of him, so she gets stabbed instead. And this fucking idiot, Barkus picks up the fucking goblet of poison. It proposes a toast to Emily. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride, which is fucking mean. And this idiot...
mean, but what a fucking idiot, because he thought it was wine.
Yeah, he drinks it. This poison works really fast, by the way. It works within fucking seconds, because he starts choking and dying instantly. Like, his face is blue and everything. I'm like, god damn, it sucks to be you, homie.
Well, yeah, now he's dead.
Yeah, no, now he dead.
Now he's
because
dead.
Elder Guthnick held everybody behind him, but was like, we have to abide by their rules. We are amongst the living, meaning we can't kill somebody here. Like, but now they can, because he did.
As they fucking should, honestly.
As they should. Fuck
As
that guy.
they should.
They all know Emily's story, so they're gonna be like, yeah, this guy dead.
He's gonna die a second time.
Yeah. So we cut back, and everything is calm again. Thank God. And Victor is hesitant to want to be with Victoria now because he made a promise to Emily. And she's like, you kept your promise and you set me free, and I can do the same for you. She gives him his ring back, which I think... my heart.
It hurt, man.
It hurt so good. She also tosses her bouquet. It goes to one lady, and the maggot's sitting on her shoulder. He gives her, like, a little fucking look, and it's funny. But the lady tosses it to Victor and Victoria. And she's at peace. And she's on the fucking edge of the fucking windowsill. I guess it's a windowsill, or it's like
it's a door. It's a doorway, dude.
Yeah, it's the front of the church. I forgot. And she turns to butterflies. And because she's at peace, which I found it surprising that not a lot of people got that symbolism. But to be fair, I didn't either when I was younger.
You were a kid.
I was a kid, but I grew up a little bit. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But she turns into butterflies, and she's set free. And that's the end. That's Corpse Bride.
She makes me cry every fucking time, dude.
Same.
So sad.
It's bittersweet. It's not necessarily sad, it's bittersweet.
Mm-hmm.
It is, obviously, bittersweet is happy and sad. It's fucking, we just wanted her to get married. Because she deserved it. Also, I think the animation for her turning into butterflies is really fascinating. I really want to know how they did that. You didn't find anything about that, did you?
No.
No? Damn, that sucks. It was really well animated, though. I liked it a lot. But it's very nice. It's very good. And that's the end of Corpse Bride.
It's such a good movie.
It's a very good fucking movie, and I fucking... I cry every time.
Such a good movie.
So good. But yeah.
So what would you rate this out of?
I gave it because for mostly just... we're rating this out of butterflies, by the way. There was a lot of things we could have rated this out of. Because it's just wedding themed, and there's a bunch of shit that we could have fucking rated it. But because this movie is so near and dear to me, the nostalgia, the music, the animation, just everything, I give it a 5 out of 5 butterflies.
I also give it a 5 out of 5.
Yay! Oh, it's so sweet. I fucking love it, dude.
Like I said, it's one of my favorites. I also give it a 5 out of 5.
I cry every time. So
Same.
sweet. Yeah, no, when I grew up a little bit, and, like, I really realized the fucking... just... the story itself, like, because when you're little, it's songs, and she's a silly, quirky girl who likes this guy, and they're not supposed to be together because she's dead. No, it's the fact that she's been stuck in basically purgatory.
Yeah, pretty much.
She wanted to get married, and she wants to get set free. And I'm just like, ugh. Ugh. My heart. But anyway, hit me with some fun facts that you found some fun facts?
Yes.
Yes.
So the budget for this movie was $40 million, and it grossed in box office over $118.1 million.
Nice, as it should.
As it fucking should. So the puppets were like 25 to 28 centimeters, which is 9.8 to 11 inches tall.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stages were so large that the animators could actually fit through the set doors without minimal crouching.
Yeah, I've watched the bonus features for this because we watched this on my DVD. And I've watched the bonus features for this so many times. It's so fun.
It's so good.
What else?
So the composer Danny Elfman originally wrote the part for Bojangles, looking for another musician to sing it, but after failing to find a voice that fit, director Tim Burton asked Elfman if he would sing it. The result was so brutal on his vocal cords that Elfman was left hoarse whenever he had to voice the character.
Yeah, that makes sense. I made the joke when you and I were watching this, is it sounds like Jack Skellington smoking for 10 years straight.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yes, it is. So the movie was a 55-week shoot and included 109,440 individual animated frames set up and filmed.
Damn, so over a year? Just over a year and 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That is impressive.
So multiple identical puppets had to be created so that more scenes could be accomplished in a shorter period of time. In all, 14 puppets of the Bride and Victor were created, and 13 were created of Victoria.
That's a lot, bro. If anybody, if anybody could find me an actual, like, copy of one of of Emily's puppets, will you send it to me? Please?
So this movie is based off a 19th century Russian Jewish folktale.
Yeah.
Joe Raft introduced to Burton while they were finishing up The Nightmare Before Christmas. This movie began production in November 2003, while Burton was completing Big Fish. He continued with the production on his next live action, which was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and it was produced simultaneously with this movie.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that folk tale, actually fairly recently, like within the past couple years. I was like, oh damn, I didn't know it was based off of a folk tale at all.
Yes.
But that's really cool. I like it.
So, this movie, along with Cars, is dedicated to the memory of Pixar's Joe Raft, who sadly passed away due to a car accident in August 2005.
I did.
Yeah.
What? I guess some team members on this would. Well, it's Tim Burton, so yeah, associated with Disney in a way, but that's strange. I wonder if he did anything for Warner Brothers then as well. Or if he was just so respected among the film industry.
No, he worked on this movie.
Oh, I see. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. He worked on this movie while he was also working on Cars, too.
Oh, okay. I see. Very different dynamic from one another. That's very interesting.
Yes. So co-director Mike Johnson spoke about how they took more of an organic approach directing the movie, saying, in quotes, that in co-directing the situation, one director usually handles one sequence while the other handles another. In our approach, it was more organic. Tim knew where he wanted to go with the film as far as emotional tone and story points to hit. My job was to work with the crew on a daily basis to get the footage as close as possible to how I thought he wanted it.
Yeah, so I think he definitely had more... Tim had more of a role to play in this compared to Nightmare Before Christmas. For sure.
Okay, so this was Johnny Depp's first acting role in a theatrical film. Later, he'd go on to voice the title character, Rango. And then another title character, Sherlock Gnomes.
I need to see Rango again. I haven't seen it in like 11 years. I bet it's so good. I don't even remember it.
Okay, so in a 2005 interview with About.com, co-director Tim Burton spoke about the differences between directing this movie and The Nightmare Before Christmas, saying, the difference on that was that one I had designed completely, and the other was a completed package in mind. I felt like it was there. I felt more comfortable with it. And with this, it was a bit more organic. It was based on an old folk tale. We kept it kind of the same, but mostly with a lot of changing. That he had a great co-director, Mike Johnson. And I feel that we complemented each other quite well. And it was just a different movie and a different process. He also spoke about casting Johnny Depp as Victor, saying... it was weird because we were doing both at the same time, and he was Willy Wonka by day and Victor by night. So it might have been a little schizophrenic for him, but he's great, and it's just his first animated film that he's done, and he's always into a challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, we just treat it like a fun process, and again, that's a joy of working with him. He's kind of up for anything. That he always adds something to it, and it's amazing that all actors never really have to like work together in the same room. Oh yeah, so he was like never really in the same room except for with Albert and Joanna for a few scenes that they had together.
Cool. Yeah, Helena Bonham Carter also plays the Corpse Bride.
Yes.
Because of course she does.
Yeah. So in the beginning of the movie, Victor releases a captive butterfly through the window. Johnny Depp's character, Ichabod Crane, also does something similar in Sleepy Hollow when he releases a caged cardinal out of his bedroom window.
Oh, I've never seen Sleepy Hollow.
I have.
I've seen bits and pieces. Well, not bits and pieces. There's one scene in particular where I remember somebody getting beheaded in that movie.
Yeah.
And it traumatized me as a kid, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But that's the only bit I've seen of it. And I have read the short story. But we had to for school. It was really good, though. I liked it. I didn't mind it. I liked it.
Oh, same. I had to read the short story, and I had to, like, watch the movie.
Yeah.
So this is the only Warner Brothers stop-motion animated movie.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yep.
I guess thinking about it, yeah. That, it is. Huh. I never thought of it. Okay. Damn, they should do more. I want more stop motion, period. Because I think it's really cool. Stuff like this.
Takes a lot of time, but
it does take a lot of time. I want stuff like this in Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline. I want more horror-based stop motion. Because it's cool.
I feel that. So Johnny Depp and Sir Christopher Lee appeared in Sleepy Hollow and in Charlie and Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot he plays his fucking dad in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Oh man, Christopher Lee was fucking awesome. There's nobody like him.
So, this movie.
Yes.
So, Corpse Bride was originally officially announced since 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And Henry Selick was interviewed on if he heard any discussions of it. And he revealed that the movie had really been in development since 1996.
Damn.
And he was working on it since 1998, developing a storyline, but he had to back out. So this also would have been a Henry Selick movie.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I mentioned Henry Selick earlier, I bet you were like, haha, guess what?
Yeah. Pretty much. This would have been another Henry Selick Tim Burton movie that they would have done together.
Damn, though. That's cool.
But yeah, he had to back out because he had other obligations and he couldn't focus on the
on
movie.
this. Yeah, stop motion just takes a lot of time, man. Like, it's more than, I think, I would say, any other movie. Except for maybe, like, a 2D animated film.
Yeah.
Where stuff is hand-drawn.
I mean, like, a lot of people are, from what I've seen, a lot of people get really amazed because this movie came out in 2005.
Yeah.
And originally, it was already, like, being a concept in 93. 93, and it was officially being worked on in 96.
Yeah, there you go.
And they're like, that takes a lot of time. And I'm like, yeah, it does take a lot of time because you have to get the story right, you have to get the characters right.
It had over 100,000 frames. Yeah.
It's gonna take a lot.
Took 55 weeks to film.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's like, this shit takes a long time.
And if you fuck up on a frame, that's a whole fucking day ruined, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
But yeah.
I love stop motion. It's very fascinating to me. I like animated movies, period, but stop motion is just so neat.
It's just something different.
It's so neat. It's unique.
I love it.
There needs to be more of it. But, yeah. I think, is that everything?
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, little spooks, that's gonna be it for us today.
Okay, so join us next week as we close out February with George McHale's 1981 holiday horror film, My Bloody Valentine. And to prepare you for next week, you can rent it for $2.99 on Prime Video. And remember, that is the 1981 version, not the 2009 remake. Because the 2009 remake, you can watch it anywhere for free. You cannot with the original one. You have to rent it.
Don't forget to rate us and tap that bell icon on Spotify so you don't miss an episode. If you want to follow the Guarded by Demons socials, we're on Twitter at Guarded Demons, and we're also on Anchor, YouTube, and Instagram at Guarded by Demons. We're also on iTunes and Google Podcasts as well if you want to check us out on there. We also have an email, guardeddemonpod@gmail.com, if you want to write in and suggest some topics, movies, or games we could play on the podcast. This one right here recently pre-ordered Resident Evil 4, so we'll probably talk a little bit more about Resident Evil coming up sometime if you'd like to.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Always.
I'm always up for talking about Resident Evil.
God.
I think we do have, like, a video game, I think it's next month that we have a video game theme, or it's like in April. Either one.
I'm down.
I would love to talk about the remake and original for Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. Maybe we can make comparisons.
We can make comparisons. I mean, because, like, me and Adam have played that game since we were kids. So
yeah.
Which that game also came out in 2005.
Jesus. Does it make you feel old?
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's okay.
But yeah, we also have a Patreon.
We do.
So joining the Patreon, you can either have a 5, 10, or 15 tier.
$15.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not much, and you don't have to, like, you know, go support that if you don't want to, and if you can't. It's just something extra that's good for us, so we can continue doing what we do with this, and also give you a little extra things. Like, you can get these episodes a day early, you can get exclusive episodes that are just for the Patreon, and that's only going to be for Ghost and Demon. And I'm sorry, my little spooks.
Sorry, little spook.
You're not getting that, but you all get access to our Discord.
Yes, you do.
And I have upgraded our Discord, and you guys have your own roles on there too. And a lot of the things that we will do on there is, like, movie nights. We do Q&As like every other month. And we will do shout outs at the end of every month, depending on the tier that you have, which I think we have it for both Ghost and Demon, or I think it's just Demon.
We'd have to check, because I don't remember.
Yeah. But either way, you guys get that. And, you know, with the money that we get from the Patreon is going to us to get, like, a camera that we can set up for you guys for this thing, so we can have, like, live like interviews and talks with you guys every other month when we do like the Q&As and stuff.
Yeah.
So we would love to do that.
I recently tried to, actually yesterday as we're recording, I sent an email to Casper Site. If you don't know who Casper Site is, he is a YouTuber. He likes to react to ghost videos and shit. And I sent him an email. I haven't gotten a response. I'm always mentioning this as a just in case. It's very unlikely, but it's a just in case. Asking if he would like to be interviewed on our podcast sometime. And if I told him if he doesn't want to, that's okay. But it's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, hi, I am Kimberly, and if you want to follow me on any of my personal accounts, I am the Lesbian Spook on Twitter, where I retweet a lot of horror movie news, a lot of horror game news, a lot of things just about being a lesbian, and a lot of memes from like the musicians that I follow on there. Just a shit ton.
Fucking Julian.
Yeah.
Fucking nerd.
It's a lot from Julian from Loveless. Yeah. I love that nerd so fucking much. But also, as of like we're recording this right now, whoever fucking leaked information about the Scream,
about who the killer is, and Scream.
Fuck off.
Yeah, you were mad about that. Fuck.
Yeah, I hate you. Why do you have to ruin everything for everyone?
You didn't see it though.
No, I did not, thankfully. But I saw the warnings and everything, and I was like, oh, I hate it here.
God,
I hate it
sucks,
here,
dude.
But yeah, if you want to follow me on my Twitch or Tumblr, I am a spooky scary lesbian, and I write a lot of dumbass fanfiction on Tumblr. I don't do that anymore, but like I can't because my laptop's shit.
Yeah. We'll get you a new laptop one day, it's okay.
But I do play horror games on Twitch, and it's usually just Resident Evil. You guys know I will marathon fucking Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yeah. You fucking...
I am so excited.
Yeah, we played Resident Evil 2. You had me play Resident Evil 2 remake for the first time, and you laughed at my fucking pain the entire time.
It was fun.
It was funny.
It was very fun. I loved it. But yeah, expect more Resident Evil content for me because I'm a dumbass that loves the series.
You pre-ordered it because my aunt gave you a fucking GameStop gift card for Christmas.
Yeah, because instead of spending $70, I spent $33.
I know you were happy about that.
Hell yeah, I was.
And I'm Lexi. If you want to follow me on Twitch, it's at SemiProEagle. I play a variety of games there. I recently played Superliminal for the first time, which was a really trippy game. I enjoyed it quite a bit, honestly. I've been playing The Sims 4, trying to do a legacy challenge, and on Monday, this is being posted on Saturday, will be my actual birthday. I will be 23 on Monday, and I will probably be hopefully playing some games, if not Sea of Thieves, then maybe some, God of War, or maybe I'll let you torture me with Resident Evil 2 Remake again, depending. We'll see what happens.
That depends on how we all feel that day.
Yeah, and... I'm also on Twitter under the almost the same handle, SemiProEagle with the number 1 right after it. I don't really post a lot on there, but I do retweet every now and then. But it's okay.
It's all good.
But yeah, I also have a TikTok of under the same username, SemiProEagle. I post game clips on there sometimes. But again, I just lurk a lot. But yeah, and that's it for me.
Is it for you?
That's it for me.
Alright, well, also, if you're listening to this on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our notifications. If you want to suggest us any movie, topic, whatever you want us to talk about on the podcast, you can leave a comment, or you can direct it to our email.
Yeah. Also, thank you, nerds, for almost 4,000 views on our Haunted episode.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Why did that one take off? What the hell?
I really want to know what interested you guys into that one episode in particular.
Yeah, considering I half-assed the fuck out of it.
God damn.
But yeah, it's almost got 4,000 views on YouTube for some fucking reason. Thank you guys for that. We appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no, don't get us wrong. We love you guys.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. What the fuck?
That was a really weird thing to wake up to.
Yeah, because I came out here, I was like, Kimberly, this video has because when I saw it, I was like, this video has almost 3,000 views on it, and now it's almost got 4,000.
Yeah, I know.
as we're recording, and I'm
now
like,
we have like what 70 something subscribers on there.
We have 71.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you guys. Honestly, no, for real though. Like, thank you because we've been doing this since last June, and we didn't think we would ever like get to this type of thing.
yeah, fucking 4,000 views. That number is not comprehensible to my brain right now for some reason.
Yeah, it's insane. Honestly,
That's a lot. That's a lot of views.
It's great though. It's fun. We
It's
love
very
what
fun.
we do.
Even though we've been sick lately, okay?
Yeah,
We're better now, but
that's
like,
not our fault though. That was out of our hands.
yeah, shit happens, it's fine.
But it's okay
We'll be
because
hopefully
we're back.
yeah, hopefully won't have any more fucking complications and knock on fucking wood. But, you know, we're back. And we missed
For the
you
most
guys.
part, we're back.
Yeah, we missed you guys. We missed you. But yeah, and is that everything?
Yeah, I think that's everything.
Alright, guys.
All right.
Stay spooky.